All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps here on a Tuesday. It's April, what is this today? April 19th, I think it is. Yeah, Tuesday the 19th of April. We're YOLOing. I think it's day 10 or 12 or something of YOLO. Here we go. We're walking up to that table. We're just going to be the biggest guy in the room. We're going to drop it all in. And again, this premise is we won $20,000 earlier, and we're just going to let it all hang out and see what happens here. So I'm doing this one roll a day. Somebody challenged me and said, can you actually roll one shot a day, go all in for one roll a day and make a living at it? No, you can't, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna try. And so that's what I'm doing here with this YOLO series is every morning, I'm just gonna drop it in, see what we can do. Now, right now, I'm at $39,000 in change, I think, is our running total. Is that correct? 39,000 and change? And it's not quite enough. I wanna get to 100, but I'm not quite enough to where I'm gonna put, we're getting to table max. We're getting close to table max. I'm not quite where I want to be with the bets just yet, but here's what I'm doing. I'm using the two PC chips to represent $20,000 because I'm out of chips, actually. And what I've got here is the $19,000 in change in profit is in the front of the rack. I'm going to take this today. We're going to put most of it out there. We're at a point now we can level up our bet again. We're going to go with 18,000 across. So I'm going to go 3 units, $3,000 units on each number. That's going to be today's. And it'll probably be this again tomorrow. I like that because it's a nice even number, but we're working our way up to where we can get table max out here. We'll get 5,000 per number, 4,800 on the 6 and 8, and then we'll have to stay there until we get to 100,000 if we can do it. Leaves us a little bit of profit in the rack. If we get whacked on the 7 today, we can start over again with this and try and build it back again. It makes it harder work, of course, right? We're gonna hit that 7 eventually. It's just gonna happen. I hope it happens after we're at the point where I've got another 19,000 in profit, so I can do this a couple days in a row and not quite feel so bad about it. But here we go. Let's get our one roll, our morning roll in here. Again, just simulating a walking up to the table, dropping it all out there for one roll and going home. Can we avoid big red today? We do. We do. It's a 549. 549 with 3,000 on it. That pays okay. In my book, that pays $4,200. And there's your YOLO profit today. That's going to bring us up to, oh boy, it's at $43,000 in profit. We'll have crested now the halfway or the double our money point, which is pretty awesome. So looking good. There's tomorrow's 18,000. There's another. Now here's the good news. I've got 5,500. Oh boy, I got $6,200 here in this side of my rack. And the reason why I'm putting them aside, by the way, if this goes down, we're back at 6,400 across, right? We're back to doing 6,400, which is where we started this whole thing. So we can restart the process from a point of relative, I don't want to say safety, but safety. And again, one more win and we'll level the whole thing up to 5,000 and we'll be there until we get to the magic number. That's your YOLO for Tuesday. So thanks for joining. And I know that some of y'all out there rooting for that 7. Didn't happen today. It's going to happen eventually. We're going to eventually blow this thing and roll a 7 out there, and we're going to go down in flames, and you'll all be cheering for me when it happens. But it's fun, right? It's fun morning, fun little morning gambit. Anyway, here we go with the actual content. Good morning. Wow, there's a big delay that I'm seeing between my voice and the camera, so not sure why that is, but I apologize for that. So let's talk about what's going on in the craps world. There's a lot happening in the craps world. So I'm going to try and make this quick this morning, but a note to all you content providers. I see that Greg is here. I see that Mike is here. I see that Midmo Yo, Chiro's here. I'm sure others are going to come in today. As I go through this, there's a section here called In the Craps Community that I want to start building this out every morning. It may even be its own screen at some point, but I want to start getting more into what's happening in the world of craps, not just what's happening to me in craps. So quick couple announcements for us. One, Friday night fights, the sign-up forms, I should have that done. I said by end of week, I'll have the sign-up form for that thing finished up. We'll get you all signed up. And again, I want everybody involved in this, not just, me and the 5 people that typically want to join into these things. Everybody should play. This is the chance for all of you to come in and play. It's going to be internet-wide opening. The Craps League, we've talked about that. I'm going to start that probably in June. I'm getting the basic parameters of what league play looks like. I'm trying to work really hard, by the way, with the guys over at Crapsy, the software, because the software is an important part of that one for sure. We can't do that with live dealers, I don't think. So trying to get that right with them, but we'll start trials of that probably in June. If you look at the In the Craps community, there's a lot going on right now. So Jeff at Mid-Atlantic put out a strategy yesterday called the Ron Cross, which is kind of like an extension of the 555 Iron Cross, which has the no 5 part of it, right? The no 5 is interesting part of that. And then Jeff's taken that and sort of done some extra work to it with regards to pressing and collecting different methodologies, which is kind of fun to watch him grow that out. And again, born from kind of the Iron Cross is this albatross, I guess, that we've all tried to fix in different ways. I've tried it with the crossbow. Greg's tried it with his version of it. Wager Me This has got his way of spreading the numbers out, and now Jeff's taking the 5's way and sort of, let's take that good base, let's work from that out and see what we can do. So it's kind of fun to see that thing happen. Hawaii Crap Shooters, Brian's been going live every morning, getting ready for his Hawaii trip, which I think is badass. I think we all practice when we're going on these trips. Even if you don't throw dice, you're practicing your betting, you're getting your systems in your head, and he's doing it live, which is great. I love that he does that. And you should all be watching it. I think it's one more episode to go. Jeremy yesterday released the video from Color Up. He did it as a premiere of the Roll to Win table. And if you'll notice that video, he's actually inside the Grand Sierra Resort Casino in Reno. He's got to deal with that casino to film in the casino all the time. Like the Hawaii Crap Shooters get to go to Vegas and film sometimes. Jeremy's going to almost have a residency there, which is kind of cool. He'll be filming from that casino a lot. And he's also, he's got a lot of things planned. I think if you go to DiceCon, he'll announce a lot of the new things that are coming for his channel. With his live stuff that he's going to be doing, what he's doing at the GSR, super, super cool stuff. So get over there. If you haven't watched his stuff, I know a lot of the advanced players don't watch all of Jeremy's stuff all the time because he does speak more to the beginner player, but he's got a lot of stuff going on, which I think is good for all of us. So get back over there if you're not over there. Live Fantasy Craps tomorrow night. If you're in the Discord, which is down below here, get signed up in the Discord, and you'll see that there's an LFC, a Live Fantasy Craps channel in the Discord, where Arnell, who runs that, puts a link in that you can go to sign up and get playing. So you can play with the guys in Live Fantasy Craps every Wednesday for sure. Sometimes on Sundays, but for sure Wednesday he broadcasts that through Casino Gaming TV. It's one of 3 shows now that are regularly on Casino Gaming TV. There's my show every day, there's Jeff's show every other week, and there's this one every week on Wednesday. We're getting to the point where we're going to have a 4th show coming up, the dealer show, plus the Craps head-to-head. So 5 weekly live shows about to be on this channel, which is what I've always kind of dreamt of, which is very cool. Sideshow Gamble, Chris is doing some competition where he's got like every possible strategy. He's doing them against the other 4 or 5 times. It's an insane task he's taking on. He does an amazing job of filming it and explaining it and walking you through it. So get over to Chris's channel and watch that. And I know that Joe from Craps Master Journey is now starting to get into more theory and not just rolling strategies out, which is cool to watch him take that next step with his channel too. So a lot of goings on. So what I want is like, and Mike, I saw your video yesterday, by the way, your 12s video. It was great. I did one similar way back called the 12 gauge or whatever. Betting on the aces or the 12 as a regular thing, as a side bet, is super fun. I'm glad you whacked it. It was pretty cool to watch. Keep up. What I want from you and from Chiro and from DGen and from Chris at Sideshow and Greg at 555 and whoever else is doing stuff, let me know ahead of when you're doing stuff. Like if you got something going on tomorrow, let me know today. I'll add it here. So this way what I can do is, I was trying to do before like the daily schedule, and I can't tell because if you're doing a filmed video, there's no way for me to know when it's going to be on, right? I can't tell from YouTube when it's going to happen. But if you know you're going to put something out, put it out. Or let me know you put it out or when you're going to put it out, and then I'll announce it here so that folks are kind of driven to come watch what you're about to put out. And then if you put something cool out and you're working through something, I'll put it here too so we can talk about what's been happening. And what I'm going to start trying to do is watch other people's stuff and then talk about it here in the morning, like what I saw, what I liked, how it's going, and that kind of thing. So I want to make this section a little bit more of a community section, not just what's happening in John's life, if that makes sense. So keep me informed of what y'all are doing, what you're working on, and as I watch them, I'll come back here in the morning. We'll talk about it in the morning. So I want to make, again, this is the community segment, not the John segment. So that's going to be what's happening there. But John's segment's coming up. The John segment is going to be this. We're going to continue talking about this idea of exposure through looking at 3 strategies. And I'm going to run them again today. I ran it yesterday. We're going to go actually to the table, and I'll talk about this in a minute, but I want to put this up here to remind you what house edges are and what house edges are not. House edge is, recall from a month or so ago when we talked about this, the house edge is nothing more than the commission, for lack of a better word, the casino takes on every bet. Okay? When you win a bet, you don't get paid true odds unless you're taking actual odds on a pass line come bet or on laying odds on a don't come or don't pass bet. Everything else, they don't pay you right. They pay you a little bit less than you should get paid. That's the house edge. Some bets have an inherently low house edge. Pass line, lowest house edge on the table as a straight bet, even without odds. Just the pass line going to a 6 is a lower house edge than placing the 6. It just is. It's because it enjoys a little bit of an advantage while it's on the pass line or in the come for that one roll. That bumps that house edge down. When you maximize the odds, you're getting down below 0.5%, depending on the amount of odds you play. So that's the lowest house edge on the table. The lowest money lost, least amount of money lost per bet won on the table is that. It does not mean that those bets win more often. There's a misconception there. It's not communicated well enough, but it's the truth. Those bets pay you the best. They don't pay as often as other bets do. A pass line bet that goes to the 4 does not pay as often as a bet that goes as a 6, right? Just the fact of the way the dice roll. Know that, but know that edge is an important part of this. Knowing how much you get paid or how little you lose per bet is a deciding factor in a lot of cases. Greg, I know, talks about this all the time, about making lowest house edge bets you can make. It's where I have a strategy I'm working out called the delayed 6, 7, 8, which is the 3 lowest house edges you can get. So there's that. Place bets. The 6 and 8 aren't bad. They're close behind 1.52 to 1.41. They're close behind the pass line as far as a place bet goes. So one of my plays today is going to be the place 6. We're going to do the place 6 all day again. Then you get into the 5 and the 9, the 4 and 10, where the house edge goes through the roof a little bit. 6%, 4%. You can lower the 4 and 10 by buying them, obviously down to where they're compatible or competitive, I guess, with other bets. But the place bets typically have the worst house edge. But again, when you've got them all covered, you're taking the guesswork out of it. That's what a comment that was made by JR yesterday in my comments. The advantage of an across bet is that you've got nothing to think about. You're going across, you're taking your hits, you're getting out, you know you're going to get paid if you avoid the 7. Whereas the pass line better or the other guy that I do today that bets on one number doesn't know they're going to get paid. They're hoping they get paid versus the across guy knows they're getting paid on most non-7 rolls. So we're going to run 3 strategies today. I'm going to go out there and get it set up. We're going to go to the zoom view of the table again. We should be seeing, I hope, my landing zone camera is in place. I'm going to move out the bets, or the bank rolls rather, to where they go. Give me a second here to get those things run out. I think I'm going to remember where they land. I know one guy's going to be about here. One guy's going to be about here. Let's see, did I get that right? Darn close to it. We're going to move this guy. No, not him. This guy up a little bit. He's going to be there. These 2 are going to be about here. All right, so let's explain the bets we're going to run today. So player in the front of the rack is going to do a $10 pass line bet. We're at a $10 table today, by the way. $10 pass line bet with max odds, period. That's all he's going to run, one bet. And the lowest house edge we can get all day long is going to be the pass line bet of $10 with, depending on the number, full odds. That's going to be what he's going to run all day long. That gambit, and we'll talk about it today, whatever the point is, he's going to be on looking for one number to hit a home run, essentially. He's a home run hitter today. That's the idea for him. The other player that I'll put his money in front. This player here in the middle, he's going to play a boring strategy. He's going to go one number. Okay, so you think about, again, I love my baseball analogies. The guy in the front is really playing baseball. He's going against the pitcher, right? He's live playing. The dice will decide his number. He's going to go all in on that number. He's playing the game live. The second guy here is going to go. He's picking a number. He's going to go to the 6. This guy's he's doing batting practice. He's essentially picking his own number. He's got somebody throwing 40 miles an hour to him so he can hit home runs whenever he wants to. He's picking his shot. He's got the easiest task. He's picking the easiest number to roll. He's putting the same amount of money on it that this guy's putting, right? This guy here has 60 bucks out there, 10 and 50 potentially. He's got 10 and 50. He's working $60 on the number he wants. Lowest place bet house edge here. So pick your number. Your number's picked for you. Same amount of risk. There's 60 bucks max total here. Same reward. They both will win 70 bucks if that happens. Now, if we go to the 9 or the 5 or the 4 or the 10, the amount of odds will change. That number back there will be different because you can't put 50 bucks on a 4 or a 10. You got to go down to 30. We're doing a 3, 4, 5 table as our demonstration. So his exposure level will change relative to this guy. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to bring his bet up and down based on that. I'm going to keep him where he is. But we're going to have those two with essentially the same amount of total money on the table. Based on the point, I'm going to make an across bet. So if it's the 5 or 9, you'll have 40 bucks back here, so $50 total. I won't go much above 50 bucks for this guy. Try to keep them about the same. If it's a 6 or an 8 where I can lay or put 50 bucks in odds back here and I have 60, we'll go 64 all the way across. Okay. If it's the 4 or 10 where I can only do 10 and 30, then I'll do 44 inside. This guy is going to try and have the exact same or close to it at risk as that guy does. We're just going to track and see, again, not so much this versus that. It's a rhythm thing. I want you to see the rhythm of this and just get a look at what playing pure house edge, pure-ish house edge, and all in, what the differences feel like at a table. We talk about these bets up in here being played in all sorts. There's a craps community because we're looking at the best way to play these numbers up here. Everybody's got these great ideas about what to do with this and the field and everything else. And at the end of the day, we have a subscriber named PJ who likes to say these are like you're picking up nickels in front of a steamroller. You're getting smaller amounts because you are betting 12, 13 bucks, 12 bucks up here or 10 bucks up here versus 70. Much smaller wins. What do you do with the wins is important. Greg calls this the elephant graveyard. And you'll see today why he does that, because at some point we'll have all of it out there. We're going to lose it all. I'm going to roll a 7 at some point and take everybody's money. The thing is, who's losing money at what rate and what are we doing with it? Okay. At this player here, I could just be collecting their money. Every win, just collect and be done. Or I could do a pressing system. Yesterday I did a pressing, inside out pressing to get them up. I didn't pull. Today I'm going to do an inside press. We're going to press here, press here, press here, pineapple press style, and then come down on hit 4. They're going to go for 4 hits and get out, which is a pretty standard length of time. We're looking for 3 to 4 hits and done, versus just maybe tomorrow I'll just same bet them the whole day, and we'll see how that looks in the end. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is go, again, pass line here for this front player. This guy's going to be 6 and 8. He's working the whole time. Yesterday he got hammered on the come out roll. But I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I feel like what's going to happen here is this. This guy wins so much on the come out 7s that it makes up for losses out here when he's got his odds out here. This guy here, we could dodge that come out 7, but he's going to win on the come out 6 or 8, whatever we're on, enough times to possibly make that not matter. One win here covers you on a come out loss. So he's going to be, if he can win once versus losing one, he may tread some water. We'll see. I'm not sure I love having him on all the time, but let's just roll it out and see what happens. Here we go. I'm just going to roll out. Hopefully the rollout camera down here you can see, and there's an immediate what I just talked about happening. This happened yesterday too. This guy got hammered on those come out 7s. Maybe it's best to make an adjustment here and not do it, and we'll just have him bypass the come out roll. I don't know. It's a tough call to make, but I feel like to be true to what I did yesterday, I'm going to do it again. We're going to go out. He's starting out from behind, right? He's got to now win in arrears. There's an 8. Our point's going to be 8, so that makes this guy nice and happy. He likes that 8 with the max odds. Player at the top is going to bet 64 across. There's 50, 65, 64. He's got 60. I can't make it perfect. So we'll take the extra $4 in risk and we'll be okay with that. So let's go ahead and get our chips out here and we'll get him across. I'll put him in the back row. He's going to go 64 with a buck change. And again, looking back here for 3 hits and out. This guy's looking for the 6 to show. This guy's looking for the 8 to show. These two players here are kind of the same. I'll offset the chips here. They're kind of the same. They're in there for one number. And what I talk about all the time with place betting is we like this because we have more targets. They're tinier targets. They're smaller targets. As PJ would say, they're nickels in profit, but you've got more chance to win. Here you're locked in on a single number. We all have the same risk. We're all going to lose the same 60 bucks if we happen to roll a 7, right? We're all at the same exposure level, but this guy here has got a chance to do this, right? We just rolled a 6, 4, 10. He's going to get paid on that 10, $18, right? So he can now take that money and bump something else up, which is what he's going to do. He's going to take these, and we're going to bump up his 6 and his 8 by at least 1 unit each. He's got one more unit. We'll give that other unit to the point. He's got a $24 8 now and an $18 6 on hit number 1. He's bumping up, collecting nothing, but he's building up his potential as we go. And there's a yo 11, 6-5 yo. So nobody benefits on that one at all. There's another yo. So everybody's sweating, right? Everybody's sweating because the 7 comes, 1 out of 6 times. We've already seen the 8 roll. We've seen the 10 roll. We've seen 2 11s roll. We haven't seen a 7 or anything else yet. So it's looming, right? And there's a 1, 2, 3, ace deuce. 3 horn numbers in a row. No help for anybody. There's a 1, 3, 4. Now, here's the other thing that we'll talk. There's a 1, 3, 4. The person who's betting the place numbers, and again, that's an $18 win. So let's get some more juice in here. There's 18. And what we'll do with the 18 bucks for him, by the way, we're going to press up the 5 and the 9 by 1 each. I have $8 left. I'm going to get the 5 an extra $5. We're going to try and maximize our stuff. When you see those 3 horn numbers and you start getting spooked, these 2 players have the option to do something that player does not, which is this. They can say, I'm out for a minute. I'm going to go off, right? There's a nice option that you've got here to turn your shit off if you're worried about it, where the place better or the pass line better can take these away for a second if he's nervous. Can't take that away. You're going to always have some guaranteed exposure. So there's that. All right, that's 2 hits for the top player. 1 more hit to get the 5 or the 4 and 10 maybe bought, and then we're out of here. There's a 6, 2, 8. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's a winner except for this guy. This poor slob over here is picking the wrong numbers every day. So this guy in the front, he's going to win 50, 60 in the back, and 10 flat. So just like yesterday, we're off to a great start down here. This player, we'll put his potential odds back in the front. I'm going to put him profit-wise over there on the right-hand side. So he's got his initial bankroll here in front, 400 and, well, there's the 50. He's back. This guy back here, at $24 8. Where's my nickels? I'm almost out of nickels already. That'll pay. I'll pay him in quarters. That'll pay 28 bucks. He's doing fantastic. 28 bucks. What we'll do with that 28 bucks, though, we're going to make the 10 look like 25 and the 4 look like 20 and take the 3 back to our rack. So he's got a little bit of potential profit here. His next hit, by the way, he's done. He's hit, and he's hit. He's 1 roll away from being out. This guy here, nothing. Right? He's picking the 6. He has not hit the 6. Coming out for a new point here. And there's a 6-5 yo. So again, house edge on the pass line is the house edge. Why is this a better bet than just placing the number house edge wise? We've gotten paid here on the 7 and the 11 twice. We've gotten paid out here with nothing else in action. That's why. When let's say this bet, we travel to the 9, it's a free bet. We got paid. We got 10 bucks in a rack. Whatever this becomes, doesn't matter what the point is now. Whatever this point becomes, this bet, this flat portion of the bet is free. It's a free bet on whatever comes out now. That's a cool way to look at that. And I've said that to you on the don't pass too. When the craps numbers come on the don't pass, that becomes a free bet on the 7. Same thing here. This is a paid for free bet on whatever comes up. And when the odds come out behind it, those odds are being paid at no house edge. It's a 0 house edge bet for this player when this happens. So this is a really good situation. I think you should see. So let's go ahead and, my puck should be off, by the way. And again, there's the aces, or ace deuce rather. It's a 1, 2, 3. So we do lose here, which makes that bet no longer free. Now he's back in the game for what he was before, which is a bummer. And right back to it again. We're having a horny kind of throwing day today, aren't I? I've had 4 11s, 2 ace deuces. It's crazy. Let's get some actual numbers. There's a 5 and a 4. That's going to be a 9. 5, 4, 9. I'll leave that down there in the viewing area. Hopefully you can see the viewing area down there. So we're on the 9. That's going to be our point. He's going to go out there with what he can, which is 40 bucks. That's the max odds he can lay. We're already out here for 64 from before. I'm not going to reduce this down. His initial $64 exposure was based on matching his first bet. He's still on the plan of 1 more hit and down, right? He's taken 3 hits. And again, we're on shooter number 2. This guy's had a ton of activity down here. Shooter number 2, this guy's still collected 0 here across. The guy with the advantage play with all the money out there that's got every number covered, it's taken him 2 full shooters to potentially collect. This is his collect. He takes 1, 2, 3, and here's the money shot for that guy. Can we avoid the 7? We don't avoid the 7. It's a 5 and a 2. So all that work that he put in was for nothing. He needed that 4th hit to get collected, and he got squat. That is a huge bummer, and that happens. Right? We know this happens, and that's the bane of the place better, right? Especially when you're doing this kind of a system up here where we're going to just wait, and then take it all in. It's a bummer. The pass line better, same problem. Just because he has the best house edge on the table with that bet that he's got out there, a free bet with free odds, doesn't save him from the 7. The 7 is still going to beat you when it comes. Everybody lost the same amount. This guy lost it twice. This guy lost it once. This guy lost it once and won it once. Okay, so just, again, follow the table rhythm. We'll see how this works out. But we're still working out here essentially from profit. So he's still in very good shape. This player here is going to go. Again, we're going to pick a number. We're going to pick the 6. We're going to stay with it. We're just not going to change. It's the number to roll. Let's see if we can avoid the come out 7 here. We got a 6 and a 3. That's a 9. Hopefully you can see that. It's a 6 and a 3, 9. Between the 2 camera views, the point's 9. We're back out here with, I'm going to have to get some change. There's his odds. There's his profit from before. This guy's got nothing. Because it's a 9, that's $40 in odds, 50 here. He's going to limit himself to 54. He's going to match the exposure. So there's 55 bucks. He's going to go 54. We're going to skip 1 number. We'll probably skip the, I don't know, let's skip the 10 for him. $1 change. So he's out 54 across. Same thing. He's going to try and get 3 hits and out. 3 hits, 4th hit, he's out. This guy's looking for a damn 6 at some point before he just keeps donating money to the casino here. And there's a 5-2-7. So everybody gets their ass kicked. And here's Johnny, right? John's back. John's bad throwing is back. Again, everybody loses on the 7. On the early 7, it's worse for this guy. From a feeling standpoint, this guy, it feels worse down here, doesn't it? Because last time he worked so hard, had all that money out there, and he just, it feels like he's going to be all right, and then, boy, he's not all right, and that's a damn shame. So we lose it. Everybody gets beat on the 7. Everybody now is in the negative, which is unfortunate, but c'est la vie, right? Let's do it again. Let's come on back out here one more time. I'm still working from the profit stack over there. Pass line bet for him. We're going to do 60 bucks here again on that 6 for this guy. Puck is off. This player's waiting to see what's coming next. He's waiting to see how much money he gets to bet. So here we go. Boom. Give me a number. 628. All right. Well, I almost moved him to the 8. I almost said, let's get off that 6. We haven't seen the 6 yet, but we're on the 8. That's great. This guy back here loves the 8, right? He's coming in hot. Max odds, 50 bucks. The across better back here, 50, 64. He has 64 bucks exactly. That's great. He's going to go the $12 six. We'll get our nickels here and we'll get him out there all the way across. Sweet. He's ready to go. He's got them all. 64 bucks essentially matches his risk. This guy's always at 60 bucks. It's interesting that picking the best number, picking one number, having one target really sucks, right? One target is hard on the longer rolls to get your point. We've only had one win down here out of 3 shooters so far. Not a great result for either player, but with one target, it's harder. With the multiple targets, it's the elephant graveyard. And, you know, this is why they say craps can't be beat, right? There's an 11. There is aces. That's 2 horns in a row. See a horn, bet a horn. Aces. There's a hard 4. Hard 4. So only one player gets some action here. This guy on the end with the 4. He's going to get paid 18 bucks on that 4. And like last time, he's going to go and press up the point by 2 to 24. He's going to take the other 6 bucks and press up the inside 6. And again, he's on 1 hit out of potentially 3 or 4. Let's see what happens. Elephant graveyard doing its thing, right? 6, 2, 8. All right. He gets paid back here. Again, he'll get paid 28 bucks. So we'll do 25 in reds this time. And 3 whites for the guy in the back. We could actually give him 30 for 2 is what I'll give him 30 for 2. That's actually a better math for me. We'll take 2 out of his rack, put 2 up, and give him 30 for 2. And he can pump up the 5 and the 9 both by 15 bucks on that win. Make them both look like a quarter. He's pressed up pretty good where he wants to almost be. Back there on the pass line, 10 flat and 60 odds. So he is back. He's 2 for 2, 2 for 4. He's won 2, he's lost 2. He had a couple of little wins there on the come outs. He's in good shape, okay? This guy here, well, he's still waiting. He hasn't seen a payment yet. He's in the batting cage. He's getting the softballs thrown to him. He hasn't win nothing yet. He hasn't seen anything. There's a 4-2-6. Finally, he gets something. Right? Again, we're working the come out with this guy. So he finally gets his payment. And remember what we said yesterday, 4-2-6, he gets paid 50. He's going to get paid his 70 bucks and he's done, right? His whole plan was 1 hit per shooter and be bye-bye, right? He's not out here for the long term. He's 1 hit per shooter, but he's down. He's lost his money so many times. He's almost irrevocably behind here in his rack. He's going to have a tough time making that up. But again, he's playing the pass line game. He's 1 hit per shooter. This guy here has 1 number per shooter. He's playing for the 6 now, right? So he already got it. He's waiting for it. This is the advantage you have in this situation where, again, if you're working all the time and you're picking your number, he got paid as the number rolled. This guy here just got to the number and has to wait for it to roll a second time. This is the bane of this guy, right? He has now got to face the 7 where this player doesn't have to face the 7 right now, okay? Here we go. I'm glad to see him get paid at least once. I was feeling bad for him. And there's the point repeater. So it works, right? This guy gets his second hit, which is what he was hoping for, right? That's the whole point. This guy here, fear of missing out, that was his strategy. His strategy was to avoid it, right? So he did what he wanted to do. This guy's coming back to his rack, looking pretty good again. Solid run. Here we're hitting our points today, which is great. This guy here with an $18 6 is getting paid 21. We've already pressed the 5 and 9, 6 and 8. We're gonna venture out to the 4 and 10, get them bought for 20 bucks. And he's back in his rack. Puck is gonna be off. Our middle player is coming back out. Now he's seen 2 6s, he's gonna move to the 8, okay? He's gonna play it that way. He's gonna move 1 slot over and see what happens here. What do we have on the come out? We have is that a 4? Can't see it from where I am. That's a hard 4. 2-2, hard 4. Now, what I got to do here to keep this right, of course, the player in the back can only go to 30 bucks. Okay? His potential win is still the same though, right? From the house edge standpoint, he's gonna win 10 and 60. He's still gonna win 70 bucks no matter what. This guy's still looking for an 8. Here, the exposure that this guy has is still 64, but it's from a whole shooter ago, right? Again, the Elephant Graveyard guy hasn't collected a dime yet. He hasn't collected 1 red cent into his rack. Waiting for the 4th hit. This is the 4th hit. This is his money shot right here. Can we get him some money? Yes, we got a 6-4-10. He's gonna earn a little tiny bit of money. So his $20 10 is gonna pay 40 for his VIG. And he's gonna come down, right? He was gonna always come down on the 4th hit. So he's gonna finally get something into his rack. Something. I'm gonna actually give him some greens here, just because I want to make the rack easier to manage and give myself some greens. There's his greens. He comes back. Now he went out there for 64 bucks, by the way. There's 50. There's 60. There's 4. So that was his initial outlay, the 64 bucks. What does he come back with? 108 rather. That's a pretty good little return there, right? The inside press can return you well. 109. He's making 70 bucks every single time. He makes 109, a little bit more, but it took him 3 shooters to get one-time payment, right? So there's a risk reward that goes along with this. But let's look at his rack. Let's get him back to right. There's his starting bankroll. I'll put the nickels in there. Has he recovered? I'm gonna get a nickel for those 5 whites. He's not recovered yet. Look at that. He's $1 short. He's actually got $1 light of being back to where he started with. Isn't that interesting? He's $1 short of that. But he's done. He's gotten his money and he's down. He'll come out for the next shooter. That was his whole goal. 4 hits and down, wait for the next shooter. So now we have playing for the 4, playing for the 8, they're live, okay? And that was the one thing I didn't do yesterday, was pull this guy down when they got their win. Yesterday, this guy showed that same win, took the 18 bucks back to his rack, and then we lost on the 7. The right play here, get your inside hits and get the hell out. That was what we decided to do with him. So we're gonna have some fear of missing out here for him, but that's gonna have to be okay. We're gonna have to suffer with that to get that nice win. That's actually a pretty good win, right? Winning 104 off of 64, that's a pretty, I don't know what the percentage is, top of my head, but that's a pretty high percentage. That's approaching 50%, or more than 50%. That's actually like 60% win on one shot. That's pretty good. There's your 6. Looking for a 4 or a 7 here. A 4 or a 7. There's a Yo 11 Yo. And there's another Yo 11. I swear I am making the dice roll. There's a 639. So if you're back on the inside, you're making money here. That guy could have been out there again, re-exposed himself for the 40 bucks. Right, we could have done that, but we said, again, sticking to strategy. You're taking your insides and you're going home. There's another 9. And there's the 4. That's the point made 4. Off. He's going to get paid again, 50, 60 in the back and 10 in the front. Again, grinding out that 70 bucks every single time. I say grinding, but he's hitting home runs. Every time he hits down here, it's a home run. And again, he's hitting numbers today, hitting the point of 4. Not easy to do, right? We happen to be rolling in good rhythm again for this guy. He's doing great. He's actually, if I put his money back over here, the 50 bucks that he needed to been here, that's his starting bankroll, that's his profit. He's in profit, he's behind. This guy here is essentially at square on those same hits. We'll do one more shooter and then we'll call it. Coming out to an 8. Okay, so that's good. This guy here is getting paid 70 bucks on the 8. 70 bucks on the way out, and he's coming down. He's bringing his money back to his rack. Again, one hit and down. There are his reds back to normal. And there are his greens back to normal. He's actually 50 bucks down. He took all those whacks earlier, and he's only down 50 bucks, 45 actually. Not an awful showing, given the number of 7s and the lack of 6s and 8s. Normally you roll 6s and 8s. I'm not rolling them as much today as you would think for him. But our point's gonna be 8, which is great for this guy. Again, he's stuck at max odds. And again, what you would probably do, if it was me anyway, I'd have been at 15 bucks. I'd have been at 20 bucks down here on those hits, and my odds would be up at 100 and 150, not sitting here swimming around at 50 bucks in that situation. But we're on a point of 8, which means this guy here can do, again, 50, 64. Again, matching the risk at 64 bucks. We'll do it one more time. Can we get 3 hits and come down and work the hardest system in town? It's pretty tough to do. Okay, we get some all. There we are. He's across. He's back in his rack, playing for the 8. Let's get it done. I'll wait until all these bets get resolved before we stop it here. There's a 6-5 yo. Nothing for nobody. Midnight, nothing for nobody again. Good Lord. Aces. Wow, it's a yo, a midnight, and an aces back to back to back. This guy here is pissed, right? Three unproductive rolls for somebody who's got every number covered. Really sucks. There's the 6, 5-1-6, so that's good. Finally gets something paid there. That'll be a $14 win for him. And again, we're going to take 12 of that. We're going to press up the 6 and the 8 to 18 each and grab 2 in our rack. That's win number 1. There comes big red. Easiest number to roll. Both players lose. But at the end of the day, the pass line player won enough points to be the big winner for day 2. So 2 days in a row, the pass line player with max odds outscores both players. This guy here broke essentially even. A little bit is a handful of nickels down. This guy here is actually in the exact same spot that player's in. Okay, this player up here is down 45 bucks. This player here is down 56 bucks. They're both down about 1 shooter, essentially. And again, the 7 whacked them. They had no coverage here earlier. And again, the rhythm was just wrong for them. So it just happens to be that how it worked out today. So there it is. Pass line with odds for 2 days in a row has ruled the roost. Okay, they're all fighting the 7. They're all fighting with the same amount of money. They're all fighting it at different times. They're all looking at different targets. The guy who's picking his target is not doing so hot. If he picked both of those, we would have had a better day. I could have put 30 and 30 instead of 60 on 1 and been better off in here had I done that, right? But again, the point of the demonstration is this guy's got 1 target, this guy's got 1 target. They're each playing for 1 target. This guy picked his target, this guy had his target picked for him. That's the only difference. Look at the difference in the rhythm today, though, right? That guy just won every single time. This guy won nothing. Really, really horrible showing for the guy that's picking his target. The guy that played only the 6 or only the 8 got hammered twice by picking your target. It's very, very interesting. So here we go. Let's do PC and see what's being said about me in the chat. Let me come back over here. I'm going to go back to, I think I can do this screen. Hold on one second. Actually, let's go to this screen. So you can see the edge while we're talking about questions. I'm going to go through the questions here, and it's like 555 says the dice in that view is too small to see. Yeah, they are very small. I don't know how to zoom that in any further. I got to figure out. I like having the table zoomed in so you can really see the bets well. That's important. I think it's more important than seeing my dice roll, frankly, but people love to see the dice roll. So I bought a new camera just to zone in on the dice, but it's so freaking small. And if I zoom in further, then you can't see the walls. So I don't know what to do there. I'll keep messing with it. I've shown why across betting you don't like it. I know a lot of folks don't like across betting. It feels like it's the right thing to do because you're getting so much more coverage, right? If you're going to wait for 4 hits and come down like I was doing today and yesterday too, if you're waiting for 4 hits to come down, then you're waiting for 4 hits to come down. And look how hard it is to get 4 hits. Right? We did, I don't know, what, I did 5 shooters? I didn't even keep track. 5 shooters today? 5 shooters, we got 4 hits 1 time out of 5 shooters. All the horn numbers are a waste of time. If you're thinking that means the iron cross is the way to go, that's a waste of time too. It's more of a money suck than anything else. It's hard to get 4 and come down. If you're gonna just collect same bet every time back there, and tomorrow I will do a same bet every time, you'll find that after the same 4 hits, you're just barely breaking even. right? And if you're getting 4 hits on the boxes, chances are the pass line player, one of those 4 hits was his number, right? He's making 70, you're making 8 cents, right? So there's a difference there. You have to look at those differences when you're playing both sides of the table, and you got to see how that works out. On a super long roll, if you stay out there, right? Had I stayed out there or reduced myself down to 44 inside, let's say, on that last roll, instead of pulling it all down, he would have had 4 or 5 more collects before the 7. So there's that to be considered as well. So that's to address that point, Greg. Yeah, the cross betting is cool for a second, and then it's not. Skill and Luck says, if all are working, that's fair. The across not working, the come out. The across working on the come out is the reason why I didn't do that. And maybe you're right, that's not fair. The reason why is that the across bettor doesn't know, if he's got no bet yet, how much he's allowed to bet. Remember, I was saying that I was going to make the across bettor match. He was going to match the pass line bettor's action. So if it was a point of 4, like it was, where he had 10 and 30, the across bettor was going to put $40 out there. I was going to try and match the across bettor to the pass line bettor's total action. The other guy, the one target versus one target, I'm trying to play those two essentially the same, where they're just always working. Because if you picture a come bettor who would have had a bet go to the come, he'd be working the come out too. I'm trying to make that one, the player with the one bet, act like a pass line bettor with odds would, but just picking the number instead. I'm trying to make those two bets act the same, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to word that or how else to play that it would have been any differently. And yeah, the place bettor needs 2 numbers. I agree with you there. If I'm playing that the way that we did today, I would have probably had the 6 and the 8 at a lower total level. But again, the demonstration here is one bet. I'm picking my number, the dice are picking my number. And how do we play opposite each other? The cross bet guy really is there as more of a, the way most people play, like a control system almost. So anyway, that's the reason why I'm doing it this way. Tomorrow I'll make a little change to it, and we'll do the same 3 numbers here tomorrow, but in a little bit different configuration, because I am going to same bet the guy in the back. I may have him just working all the time. We'll just see how that works. So yeah, you're right. And PJ is saying here the same risk, but different payoffs, right? The guy who's betting across on the same bet needs 4 hits to break even, right? And you say that, and I said this to you yesterday in chat, technically, yes, 4 hits to break even in the rack. If I pull down my 44, I'm 4 hits to break even and have a $50 profit. If you pull your bets down. I pulled the bets down today, and you saw that when we got our 4 hits, we were okay. 4 hits, and we were good. We actually showed a good profit there, but getting 4 hits is hard. It's really hard to do, and I think that should be the takeaway from today for everybody. Should be that. It's not easy to get 4 hits on these numbers, right? It's not easy. It sounds like it's easy. It ain't easy to do that. That's the reason why Waylon does the chasing, the laddering, because you're not going to get 4 hits. You're going to get 1 or 2. If you're even, fine. Otherwise, you're laddering. You're kind of making more money beyond the table through a system like that. That's not choosing numbers. So there's that. Yeah, I've seen this too, Dorcel. I've seen 12 rolls, 9 hits, not hitting the box. I've seen some crazy shit on a table. We all have, for sure. There's no guarantee, right, that a 9 or 10 roller is going to hit the point. We can surely say that. It's all comes down to when you pull the money down, right? Today I pulled the money down. As soon as I hit it, the 6th player, the guy in the middle, pulled it down. He got hit twice, which was good. The cross bettor got to pull his numbers down once, but 4 times he never got to pull, which is unfortunate. So anyway, there it is that. James saying I need to parlay the bet. But again, you're saying the one bet guy. You're right. If you're playing it, maybe you do parlay it. But I'm playing that number, matching the pass line. I'm just looking at, and the reason why I'm doing it this way, and I'm going to give you some history here, is PJ and I were talking in chat, and I said to him, what's the freaking difference between pass line with odds and placing the 6? What's the difference, right? You let the dice pick your number for you, and you're putting all your money on the table. You're doing pass line max odds. You had no say in the matter. It's a contract bet, and your exposure is the same as if I just picked the 6, which is the best number I can pick. I should be better than you. Playing the 6, I should do better than the pass line player, because that player has to have the same number roll 2 times for the bet to resolve for him. I had to have it roll 1 time. And you saw it a couple times. I rolled it, got paid, and the pass line player actually lost on one of those. So there's an advantage there inherently. If I would have parlayed the bet, it's an unfair test. Then I'm making more money than the pass line player because of the way I played it, not because of the way the dice rolled. And I wanted to get a strict look at 1 bet versus 1 bet, same amount, I pick, dice pick, and make it be that easy. And that's the reason why I chose that. I know we all don't love the way I'm doing it, but there's a science to what I'm doing here. It's literally I pick, dice pick, same amount, let's go see what happens. The across better is out there just to see and prove the other point, which is more targets means more money. More targets doesn't necessarily guarantee you more money. It can, but doesn't guarantee it because you got to have multiple hits to make the smaller amounts matter. And that's the thing. If you're going to have the same exposure level, $64 on the box can only be $10 across, right? That's just the way that is. So there is that. So that's the reason why I'm setting up the way I'm setting it up. It's the same exposure level. I'm doing the best that I can do in terms of keeping it as fair as I can. Would you play it differently? Absolutely, in real life. But again, I want you to see pass line, dice choose for you, 6, you choose the number. Same amount, let's see what happens. And you saw it twice, 2 days in a row, the person who picked the number got their ass kicked twice in a row for whatever reason, right? Picking the wrong number. So that's what it is. Let's see, what else is being said here? Risking on 1 number and not hitting ROI 0. That's so true. Yeah, what do they say? What is that old thing? The beatings will continue until the morale improves, right? But again, you got to see it. You got to see it to know where this is. And if the dice aren't rolling for you, you're going to have problems. And that's what it comes out to. So you need to repeat to win on a pass line point. You do. The number has to repeat. And there's no getting around that, right? The number has to roll a second time for the bet to resolve for you. You don't need to hit the 8 twice, but the 8 needs to roll twice. There's a nuance to the wording there that I think we all have to make sure that we're aware of. So, all right, that is what I got to say. Hope that was a good demonstration. I know there's some confusion about why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, but trust me when I say to you, this is the fairest possible way to test this out. Dice pick, I go across for the same amount. That's the best way to do it. Everybody's taking their goal and getting out, right? Pass line player with odds, 1 hit, he's done. 6 player, 1 hit, he's done. The across player, 4 hits, he's done. We're doing it exactly according to the strategy or according to the plan on all 3 players without making any further decisions. Tomorrow, I'll take the across better. We're going to same bet every time. After 4 same bets, we're coming down. So that should give him a $50 profit after 4 hits. And it should reduce his overall risk. This is what I was talking to PJ about in chat. The across better who same bets has a reduced exposure to the 7 the longer the roll goes. So there's an advantage to that as well that I want to explore. Tomorrow we'll explore that, and that's how we're gonna try that. So there it is. It's 9 o'clock on Monday. Thanks for watching. Root for me. Pray for me. Tomorrow's YOLO is going to be a big one. I'm going to increase my bet size tomorrow again. We're going to YOLO for a little bit more tomorrow as we approach table max $5,000. That's a fun series. It's a silly, stupid series, but it's fun. When it's done, hopefully we'll get to $100,000. I'll start a new Road to 100K series with legit strategy. I'm going to play in a legit strategy that I'm going to work from $100 to $100,000 in one day. I'm going to film myself for an entire Saturday, just going from $100 to 100K on a legit, actually game played strategy. So looking forward to having some real Road to 100K action with you all. Anyway, have a great day, all. Love yous. Thank you so much. God bless everybody. And we will see you in the morning. Thanks a lot. Bye.